Alright, here we are for part 2. We're going to learn how to carve the pumpkin today. So, Mr. Powell, take it away.
Oh, okay. Get the wheel and drive. So, what might help just a little bit is we're just going to throw on a texture here so it feels like we're really carving a pumpkin. So there's a little detour. So we're just going to hop over to material here. We can go down to new. And you notice it goes bright white. That means that we've applied a white material. And we're just going to adjust it a little bit, give it a nice orange color. And it's up to you what you pick. Let's go with that. And we're actually going to turn down the specular intensity here down a little bit, so we have a more dull color.
So that's the shine that
reflects
off of it?
That's the shine. If I turn it all the way up, it gets really shiny. And if I turn it down, we'll have more of a dull shine there. So now it'll feel more like carving a pumpkin, and then if we want to make it darker, we can drag this down just a little bit here to darken it. And all I'm doing is just clicking on the color here.
Maybe we'll check some of this tomorrow morning. It's imaging, so if you could just leave it on there.
Alright, thanks.
So now it's going to feel like carving a pumpkin. You can do the same thing for the stem, but we're going to let that go for now. You just go over to your materials, add new, and then adjust the color. So we're going to go into edit mode. We're going to hit tab. We're going to hit A. There's a selection down there. So to deselect or to select, we hit A. A will select all, or if we have some faces selected, then you can deselect by hitting A. And what we're going to do is we're going to use the knife tool over here. And we're just going to select that and zoom into the pumpkin. If you want to do a traditional pumpkin, you can, or you can go on Google and find a pumpkin face that you can emulate. We're just going to do a traditional pumpkin. And while we're carving this out, it looks like we have a modifier that's on. We're just going to see what modifier we have. Sometimes it's tough to carve with the Catmull Clark on. So what we'll do is we'll go over to simple. If you have the subsurface modifier applied, this will allow carving to be a little bit easier so we can see all of the vertices. If, for instance, if I go back over to Catmull Clark, then they're hidden because it's smooth over them. So I'm going to just hit simple. And then we're just going to use the knife tool and then carve it out. So I'm just going to go with the traditional pumpkin face. We're just going to go carve a nice square.
And you're just left clicking here or right clicking?
Left clicking, thank you.
Okay.
And then we're just going to go up a little bit here. And then we're clicking. Now when you notice that if I float around, I have a little green dot. But when it hits a vertex, it has a red stroke around it, or a red border around it. That means that we're right on top of vertice, and that's what we want there. And then when I'm done, I hit enter, and then I've got my cut there. So then I'm going to use the knife again, and I'm going to cut out a nose.
Alright, while Mr. Powell's on the phone, I'm going to see how I can do with this. So I got the knife tool, left click, left click, left click, and then let's complete it here. And now I hit enter. There we go. And let's make a big smile. Oh, go back to the knife. Boom, 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 boom. I'm just doing this nice and fast. You guys can spend more time on it if that's what you want to do. And it is, because I know you want to do a good job on this. Oh, I got lost there. All right, let's connect that. Hit enter. Boom.
And voila, you've got it. So now you will select the You want to select the faces inside your cuts.
Go ahead.
And so we're just going to go down here to the face mode. Make face selections here. Here's a little trick that you could do. Sometimes it works. We're going to hit Control, it should be Control plus. It might be Command. I'm not sure on the keyboard. So let's see. There we go. It is Control plus. And you can grow your selection there. So if you have a lot, but the problem is we have some cuts that are dividing polygons, and we won't be able to get all of them. So what we want to do is just go through here and select all of the faces inside our cut, because we're going to just delete those.
So you're just holding Shift while you're right-clicking on each face.
Yes. Now we have something right here where we need to actually fix that.
Uh-oh.
We need to make a cut. Well, actually, we should do that right now. And good thing about Blender is forgiving, so it'll let us actually make a cut while we have selections. Then we can go back here where we left off and just select those. And this may take a little while. I wish we could, just speed things up. Maybe we can do fast forward. You gotta watch for little faces like that. Make sure that you get every one, because that could be tricky. And see, like right here, we'll zoom in.
Oh,
You can't miss.
there's the culprit. That's it.
Yeah, you don't want to miss those. And we're just gonna orbit around, make sure we have the right perspective, because it may look like you're like, okay, that's it there, but it's not really. It's outside. So we want to make sure that we are in.
Now, why did those ones not get lines on them?
Oh, because of the perspective. But we can go ahead and make cuts real quick. We'll just do a fix on this. We'll go
I
up.
think just go straight down to that one.
Or does it go straight down?
Yeah.
Okay. Then we'll cut that. And sometimes this happens. Sometimes where you think you made a cut, or it says we made a cut and then it doesn't make the cut for some reason. So, I don't know. Okay, we'll select those.
Missed one up there.
Oops, I did. Good call.
Zing.
There we go. Okay. So now we're just going to orbit around. We're going to select all of these while holding down Shift. So we can do multiple selection. And then it looks like we need to correct that there too sometimes. Let's go down and we'll make just a point there. And then we can return. So sometimes that happens. No biggie. We can just jump back in and finish that off. And then once we've got everything selected,
Ooh, look at that.
zoom back out. Yeah, look at that. Zoom back out, make sure that you got everything. Even if you didn't, it's no biggie, because then you can go back and just delete it. So then we're going to go ahead and hit delete, or X on the keyboard, it doesn't matter. And then we're going to click on faces. Now we've deleted those faces.
Hey, looking good.
Yeah. So here's why we didn't extrude out a stem from this. It's because we've got to extrude in on the pumpkin body. And this is the best way to do it. Some of you guys go, wait a minute, I know a blender, and you could use the solidify. You could, but I found that you get a better result by doing it with this method, and that's hitting A on the keyboard, then hitting E, left-clicking to stop it from scaling automatically, and then hit S. Oops, I think we're gonna have to hit Z. We gotta turn off proportional editing, because that's gonna happen. So we're gonna disable that, then we're gonna hit S on the keyboard, and then oops. And then we can push that in there. So we create the inside of the pumpkin. Then we should be able to go back to Catmull and Clark and turn that on.
Now it's got that nice kind of semi-rotted look to it. Like you carved it 3 days ago, and
Yeah, and it's starting to do that. Well, we can kind of correct that here by adding a modifier, and we'll go over here to, it's called edge split. And hopefully this will help. Another thing that will help too, I should have applied this modifier before, and you can apply that modifier before you do the extrusion. And we could do that. We could back up. Let's back up and do that. So I'm going to just go back before.